Hi guys, I just updated my machine. This is the future system for January, and what I want to do is a Arch Linux installation. We've created GI Joe 3. Have a look at it in ArcoLinux.com, and it can be removed again. I have a template ready, and this is going to be also a template, but one for Arch Linux. So what's the idea? For core members and beta testers, we have an Arch Linux system, and you can always compare between Arch Linux and ArcoLinux. If you're totally new to ArcoLinux, then you know, or you will know right now, that we're based on Arch Linux, and it's like 95% the same. So we have we're working with the same pieces, the same software, the same updates. It's all coming from Arch Linux, from their servers, and we have like 5% from AOR and 5% from us, something like that. But it's the work of 3-4 years that we put into configurations and teaming and tweaking and all that makes it interesting, because out of the box everything will be installed. That's totally different with Arch Linux. You have to do everything again and again and again, and that's the problem, right? This again thing, because life is or let's say time is precious, and it fleets away time, and if you get a little bit older you get that, what I'm meaning. So template Arch Linux optical drive empty. It's downloaded somewhere. I guess it's on my, should be downloads, but yay, it's there. So I boot up, and I'm not gonna go all the way. What I mean with all the way, well, first of all, wait for me, like this. First of all, control, you have to decide what you are gonna mimic. VirtualBox mimics things. It's not the way to go. It's not an operating system. It's a box, and inside the box there is something, right? So first you mimic the old system or the new system. This is an old system. If it's nice and beautiful, it's the old system. If it's ugly in the sense of a black line, then it's the new system, right? So this is the new system, and we have less lines in this point in time, so things change, but the code is valid. We check and recheck these pages, so they're okay, they're fine, even though maybe there is no date. Cool, there is no date. It's okay, it's tested all the time. So it's a choice, and where do you choose that? In Uefi you decide, in VirtualBox you decide if you want to have the new one or the standard one. So this is the colored one, and this is the Uefi one. It does take a little bit longer to boot up, but that's all it is. So these are 4 lines. I believe we had 5 lines there. Yeah, 5 lines. So they've changed the EFI. Doesn't matter. Just press enter and boot. You can have also speech. I've tried it once and I immediately said, oh no, let's reboot and do without speech. So not a fan of it. So what I'm gonna follow, you see it takes a while before it boots, but it will boot. So I need to go to this one, phase 1 Uefi. I'm gonna go all these steps, going to phase 2, so scroll all the way down, and then you go to phase 2. Never mind this line, I'll have to fix it, see why it's complaining. It thinks it's broken, but it's not broken, loser. So down here, then you go to step 3, and I'm gonna stop just before I'm gonna choose my desktop. So at the very end you say, what am I going to choose? And then you choose your desktop. So I want to try out deeping later on, so I need to have a basis, and that's basically what I'm gonna do. Stop before deeping, then have a template, and that template I can clone again, and I can install deeping and then clone it again and install Mate and clone it again and install, you know, I have a template ready. So let's go through the motions again and again. It's always so time consuming, but hey guys, We do it for you. Load keys, PE Latin 1. Off we go. So that's my first thing. You need to figure out, hey, where am I living? Is it DE for Germany or something? You have to figure that out. It's explained in the videos, and of course online on the wikis. Verify the boot mode, don't care. Connect to internet, don't care. I'm on the internet. VirtualBox, right? Set. Let's go through it. Keeping it simple, as in super simple. So Uefi, no. Yeah, what did we decide? Yeah, we decided to go, yeah. So this one is the BIOS thing, the old thing for old computers. This was new computers, and we faked in VirtualBox that we're a new computer. So I need to do this a little bit longer than true. 300 megabyte is more than enough, it seems. Our Calamaris is using that particular size. 4A. Type. Uefi system, that's it. And it should be, it's okay, right? Sure, it's okay. And then new, this one, type is already okay. Linux file system, right? Yes, done. Exit, quit. ls blocker, what is it again? ls block. I am wondering though, so I'm going back, have a look again. Delete, resize, quit, type, okay, fine. There is only one thing to do. MBR, BIOS, boot, EFI is the only possible choice. That makes sense. So, quitting. Now we scroll down. It's the bootable flag that's never present. It's with the other one. That was what was I was. Can't speak anymore. Too much coffee. Still scrolling on the page. There we are. Okay. Now we're gonna make a file system. And ext4 is what they use, but first FAT. Let's make that one first. That's important. FAT32. FAT32. Device SDA1. Correct. Cool. And then make swap they are telling me to do, but I don't have a make swap, so I'm just gonna skip that one. Make, and then extension 4. It's time to think about something, right? Why not do something special? btrfs instead of ext4. Just a choice, just choose. Now that's number 2, not 3 in this case. Now I got this. Still the same, I think. But swap, we forget about that. So we're scrolling down. Mount the file system. Okay. Mount device SDA2 in this case. Inside MNT. Done. Make directory. Inside MNT. Well, boot. Well, I could have made it easier, I guess, with, but this is okay. With a P EFI. So we're making a folder, and inside the folder, a new folder, and in there we're gonna mount our particular little device called SDA1, and in there, oops, in there. That's mounted. So it's still common sense. If you don't have a swap, you need to change the lines and numbers. Right? And the more videos you watch, the more you're gonna get this. And so it's just that. Osbeck is winning here. So cool. I like Osbeck. Scrolling down, install the base and the base development. Now we're gonna talk. This is the first thing, right? In our system, which is MNT, we're gonna install base development, and Linux firmware, and Linux firmware. Okay, and then nano. Let's go wild. I will install later on bash completion. I think I made a typo somewhere. Or is it normal that I can't auto tab? Let's try this already. Okay. Bash completion ready or not, I don't know. But that's what the website says. What I typed. And all of this is on our future system, kernel 5.9.14, with the Linux firmware there. It's best to keep structured, so we don't skip anything. We could install other stuff already, instead of later. You have to follow some workflow, right? There's an error, file not found. File check btrfs. No helpers found. Okay. Oops. Is there anything btrfs related? I never install btrfs. Okay, we'll see if it works, right? Up there was some message about btrfs, so we'll see. If it's not working, it's not working, that's that. Start again. fs tab. -u, mnt, go to here. etc fs tab. No. Mount. That's the only thing I go see if it's correct or not. And certainly now with btrfs, you see it, the line there. So let's assume that's correct. Scrolling down, rooting, arch root. So now in my future system, this is my future system. Time zone. We need to force it. There is already something there. Just type it without F, you'll see. It says can't overwrite or something. That's that. We're forced the clock system to HC. That's wrong. Needs one dash more. Now he's happy. Locales. It's a lot of work, and you appreciate Calamares even more if you have to go through all the motions again and again and again. And don't tell me you don't, you never break your system, because I won't believe you. So you did something wrong, and then you say, let's start from scratch. Figure it out again. I did something wrong, but can't solve it. Everybody is in that position. Everybody. Okay. Locale.conf. Boom. Typos. I'm very good at typos. Don't think there's a typo. That's an important one. My Azerty. typos? No, don't think so. Scrolling, host name. Echo. I'm gonna take a small letter this time, not a capital. As suggested, you can take, of course, your own name. Computer name, nickname, any name. Just use the same everywhere. And where's everywhere? Here. What do I need to type? Lots of things. Tab. Local host. Local, oops, tab, host. Arch Linux small this time. And then Arch Linux small again. Control X, yes, go. Scrolling network configuration. There we go. We could have installed that earlier on. Me thinking, but maybe not. Because we're shrooted now. We are arch shrooted in here. But this is de-timed to it because we need to enable it too. So follow the guideline. Don't think you're smarter. Later on. Right? Later on. Good. Typo. Watch out for the capital letters. Capital N, capital M. 3 lines. No 3 lines, no can do. You won't have internet. Nothing to do. Root password. Password. This is my root password. A very complicated one. Bootloader. Oh yeah. Without that, if you skip this, no fun for you. That's installed. You only have packages. So now you're going to create something in the folder boot EFI target equals x86 underscore 64 dash. Everything needs to be correct. Let's tell him where I should put it. Directory equals slash boot EFI. He's putting it in there. Thank you very much. And now we're gonna make the configuration, the grub configuration. It's also difficult, right? It's also, it's not a 0, it's an O. The output goes to grub.cfg. Cool, 3 lines, all good. Scrolling down and then rebooting. So I'm skipping the part where it says only if you're going to switch SSDs with base and all that, it is not applicable, right? It's just VirtualBox. So exit this. New mount everything, -3, 3 R mount and reboot. Don't see grub, you messed up. And now we go to all the way down, next step. All right, number 6, scrolling. I am root. Passwords, difficult passwords. Scrolling down, internet, and there is internet. Bash completion, we love bash completion. Well, we don't need to be sudo since we are root. -s bash completion, I would miss it. Okay, what else? There is no Eric in this thing. So user add -m -g users -G the group audio video. What else? Network wheel, that's an important one. Storage and or fkill bin, and then we're using bash, and my name is Eric, and the password for Eric is, you guessed it. Can Eric do anything? No, he can't, unless I'm gonna say that he can. Now I can install stuff with sudo. Exit Eric. Ooh, that's not Eric. User, that's not available. So sudo, right? Sudo pacman -syyu. Everything working fine? Yes, I'm sudo. Then I need to scroll because I need to go to page 3, phase 3, number 7. Phase 3 says, go get me something visual. Go get me something nice to look at. And the nice to look at is xorg. Server, xorg. Apps, xorg. Xinit. I'm not gonna get xterm. It's just a terminal. If you're really stuck, you have at least a terminal. That will have termite or GNOME terminal or anything. Your XVT. But of course you need to install it. So that's done. We're scrolling down. There's no drivers to install. Just keep using the kernel. And then sudo pacman -s lightdm. And we need also the lightdm GTK greeter, or you will not have anything. Settings are not required. If you want to change the settings, then there's a GUI. Who needs a GUI? If you know the code, you go to etc lightdm, lightdm.conf, you change the code. And next to it is the GTK greeter. So who cares? Don't need it. What's more important is enable lightdm. If it's not enabled, if this line is not created, you won't see anything graphical. This is finished. Sudo reboot, it does not know that. Now he knows it. For me, this is finished. This is my template. I have lightdm, I have xorg, there is just nothing behind it. So now I'm gonna install deeping and deeping extra and see how it behaves. That's the point why I've made again this Arch Linux VirtualBox, so I can test, and so you can learn and compare Arch Linux with ArcoLinux all the time. And that's what we, the core members and the beta testers, do. Compare, is everything, if something is not working in ArcoLinux, we take a look at Arch Linux. Okay, it's the same behavior in Arch Linux, so nothing we can do about it. Or we think about, of course, if there is something to do, possible to do something about it. But most of the time it's like, yeah, waiting for the correct updates with linking for Python 3.9 2-3 weeks ago, etc, etc. Updates, right? I'm out. So again, another check, phase 5. That's what we've done. We've gone all through these motions. We've enabled everything, but we stopped here. Now I'm gonna, well, I can show you, right? I'm gonna show this, shut this down. Shut down. Nice fonts, by the way. There are no fonts, so standard fonts. I'm gonna clone this, and I'm gonna call this Arch Linux deeping, right? Just like this. And that's it. And I'm tested out. That's not for this video. That's the development part. That's without video. Cheers, guys.